Alright, so welcome back everybody. On today's episode, we're going to be getting out our Stihl pole pruner because I have been hunting this food plot back here the last few mornings and I've determined there's just too many limbs in my way. Also, the little road driving up here is starting to get so narrow, I think I need to prune that out as well while I have the saw down here. I also use ropes to pull up my backpack and gun and bow into the tree stand the other day, and I actually had one break. Thank goodness it was the one that my backpack was on. So that lets me know that these ropes are far too worn out. So I'm going to go ahead and replace those while I'm down here. We'll go ahead and check all the game cameras. I'll include pictures at the end of the video if there's anything worth showing. And who knows what else we'll get into. It's kind of another one of those hunting episodes, using some tools, just kind of cleaning everything up, getting ready for fall and winter. Alright, well, I like what I see. I opened up a hole right here and right here. I still want to leave some of these limbs because it really blocks when deer or turkeys come in. As soon as they get behind that limb, for example, I can do a slight little bit of movement. Kind of the same story over here. I like to leave these limbs, you know, to block movement when they walk in. But I just opened me up a hole right there too. So while I'm up here, I typically tie ropes to my stand and hang over to pull my gun, bow, and backpack up. That way I don't have to climb with that stuff. I just find it kind of dangerous when you're trying to hold on to things. But I have noticed these ropes are fraying. And like I said, I just had one break. So I'm going to cut these old brass swivels off. I got some new heavier duty rope. And we'll tie it on. That should last me several years. Man, I sure haven't seen this in a long time. Since actually back 7 years ago when we bought the property. But my pond out here has gotten so full that at one point, probably yesterday, because we got a lot of rain yesterday, it was flowing through here. You can see it looks like it just stopped, probably over the last few hours. Then it flows right out here into what I call my duck pond. It's about 2.5 acres of just kind of swamp and sog. And looking at both these sides with the trees they got and that little bit of grass in it, I bet I'll wind up having some ducks in here this year. So there ain't no way I'm gonna be driving across this pond down here. It's gonna be way too full, but let's go take a look. Seeing some acorns on the ground too. It's kind of coming in here to see if I seen any rubs or scrapes or deer sign, because my plan is this year to hunt on the other side of this pond, but thought I'd come over here and check it out. Yeah, there is absolutely no way I'm going to be driving through this for quite a while. This has held water for a few months now, so it's going to be very soggy and muddy out there. So eventually my plan is to fill the rest of this trail in with rock, but we'll have to save that for another day. Not a top priority for money right now. Thought I seen an alligator over here in this clay pit, so I'm gonna take a look. I know there is one subscriber that talks about gators on this property all the time, so I'm gonna try to see if I can find you one. No, what looks like a gator is actually a floating log out there. And that pit sure has filled up a lot. Well, while we're doing kind of a hunting video again, I'll also show you all the food plot. These old Austrian winter peas have been coming up great, although they look just odd. I'm used to peas coming up looking a little differently. And you've got some soybeans out there. I can see where a lot of them's been nipped off by the deer already, but the peas are definitely coming up. And being it's a winter pea, I expect them to last a little while, even though we got a cool snap, so time will tell. Once the deer nip these back and they die off, I'll put all this in winter oats. And while we're down here, I was going to come cut this limb, but since it's kind of died back from all the webworms, I don't know that this is going to be in the way of the shooting house. And I would like to leave all these wonderful ripe persimmons on it, because they're hitting the ground. And that's only going to attract deer over to me. And I hate to admit it, I haven't been in the shooting house in a while. Got a lot of rain, so I probably ought to go in there and check, make sure there's been no leaks, and see what kind of creepy crawlies are in the way, and go ahead and get it ready, because it will be muzzle loading season here just a few weeks, and I'll start using this again. Still feels nice and solid. Nothing shifted on me. Yeah, see a few dead roaches. Well, the good news is I don't see any signs of leaks. I do see bug sign, so we're gonna get out here and get this thing sprayed up and sweep it out, get it ready. While I'm up here, I might as well see if that limb's gonna be in the way, and it is not. Well, I guess all that's left to do is to go check these cards, and like I said, if I have anything worth showing on there, I'll include it right here at the end of this video. I was going to move a ladder stand, one that I have available up there, but I've decided I'm going to move one right here behind you. Let me show you that. So I don't know how well y'all can see this Millennium stand up in there, but it's huge. It's like 18 or 20 foot, big 2-man stand with a nice web seat. I think that's the one I want to go put out in the woods. It's such an extremely comfortable stand. I don't really use it much here anymore. I always left it stand here in case I wanted to bow hunt around the feeder, but I find myself not doing that. And once it becomes gun season, I'm getting in that nice shooting house that I made. So I really don't need to stand here no more. I'd like to put it out here in the woods to where it'll actually get some use. Problem is, I can't put up an 18 to 20 foot well, it ain't several hundred pounds, but it's 100 something pounds and huge. Can't do that by myself. So I'm gonna have to wait until either Tiffany can help me or I can get a buddy over here to help me put it up out there in the woods. So I don't think I'm gonna be doing that on the old video today. Now I've been hunting almost every single morning. I've seen some does, yearlings, turkeys, everything but bucks. And what's crazy is there was 2 mornings that I had to work. The 2 mornings before I was able to get off and hunt, bucks out in broad daylight. I hunted 2 days, and then we had to get together a few other things going on. Guess what? Bucks out in the daylight. Seems like every day that I don't hunt, I see deer. With the exception of yesterday, I went fishing instead. And I'm glad I didn't go to the stand because there was a big bear in front of it about the time I would have walked in. I'm sure he would have spooked before I got to him, but I've yet to encounter one and don't really want to. I know it's eventually going to happen on the property. So I'm doing some hunting and fishing and including that on the other channel. Link is in the description, as it always is, if you are interested in that. If not, we'll continue to do fall gardening here. It's cooled off finally, so now I'm starting to get an itchy trigger finger for a chainsaw. So we're going to do some firewood here coming up. Got some people that's been asking for it, so if I can find some that's already well seasoned, I may go ahead and sell a few loads or barter, etc. With that said, food plot behind us. As soon as we get done shooting what last little bit of doves coming in, we're going to be planting winter oat food plots. I've got more mowing to do with the tractor, so a lot of the usual stuff with some new stuff. Like I said, I'm really excited to get back into firewood. 'Tis the season for it, and I cannot wait. I've got some pretty big announcements coming up on the channel, some pretty big projects. We'll announce that when the time's right. We may actually try to attempt to do our first live stream ever to announce some of this. That'll be coming up in a couple of weeks. I honestly got to figure out how to do a live stream, play around with that a little. I think my new camera right here will do that, so got some figuring out to do, but lots of announcements coming, a lot of exciting things in life, and we'll bring y'all along for the ride. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. I'll catch you on the next video.